book club. It works 100% of the time, every time. So today has been a very eventful book club. We've had 3 guests so far come sit down and hang out with us. So my favorite interaction today at book club was we had this guy named Lou come up and join us for book club. So why exactly did Lou come to join book club? So while me and Larry Chang and we were here doing book club here at Paseo, and someone's dog left a mad dookie, a fat shit, right by the door. And the staff was freaking out. They were like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? There's shit everywhere. And we simply just decided to solve the problem. We were like, yeah, we'll clean it up, no worries. And they just kind of accepted that. So we're like, you know what? Cool. Book club. We're looking for problems. And so we found that problem and we solved it. While we were solving the shitty problem, Lou couldn't help but cold open. And so Lou cold opens Larry and he's like, man, Joe Dispenza. I went to that conference. I went to Breathe or Breath or whatever the conference was last year for Joe Dispenza. It's $9,000. And he joins us for book club. Larry introduces me, and then Larry just completely disappears. And so now me and Lou, we're talking about, hey, you obviously know Joe Dispenza. Did you read the book? He's like, no, I didn't read the book. I can barely even read. I'm like, interesting, problem. And so we keep on talking with Lou, and I'm like, so what were some of your biggest takeaways from the Joe Dispenza conference in the first place? Like, why did you go? And he was saying that the meditations were something like he's never seen before. He's never felt anything like that before. Yet he's never picked up one of the books. He's never read one of the books. And we're like, okay, that's very, very interesting. So what do you do? And push comes to shove, we end up learning that Lou actually works in the film industry and has raised like $25 million of his $75 million that he needs to pitch his movie. But while we were talking to him about this deal and everything that's going on, we asked him a simple question literally 4 times, and he could not answer the question. And that question was this: if you were to look at all the scripts that you have today, and you were to pick one that we could double in value by the end of this conversation, which would it be? And he ducked that question 4 times. On the 3rd time Larry asked it, he gave him like an almost response, but it wasn't really a response. He kept ducking the question, and finally the 4th time he answers the question and says, oh, actually the one that we could double right now is this MMA film that I own the script for. We were like, bingo, potential problem. And so now we're talking about the movie, now we're talking about the deal, and we're trying to identify like what exactly is the problem, what it is that's going on. And so now we know, 1, there's a problem at Paseo where we've got to pick up the shit, but 2 is that there's this guy who has 8 scripts and he is so scatterbrained that he can't decide right now what is actually gonna help you get your ROI before you get ROI on your movie, which is the next question that Larry asked him, being this: now imagine you paid $800K for this MMA script that you've acquired. What would we need to do to make it 1.6 mil right now by the end of book club? And he did not want to answer that question. Once again, and push comes to shove, we find out that he didn't even want to raise the money in the first place. Really what he wanted to do was do the movie independent and cut out these associations or the CAA, which was very, very interesting. So I digress. how did we shuffle through book club and get to that point of being able to discover his problem? One of the great things my mentor Larry Chang said to me yesterday at book club is that without conflict, there's nothing being made. And within this conversation we were having, when there was no conflict, there was no money being made. And then once we asked him the question 4 times, him and Larry start having a little banter, and we now have a side chat about Mary Lou. And Larry asked him, "Do you know what Mary Lou is?" And he's all like, "Mary Lou? Do you mean like Mohard or Mofart, something like that?" I don't remember what it was. But that little side conversation created all the conflict we need to very easily hashtag EUTWMPPM, engineering up a tidal wave of momentum, perpetual machine, something like that. And that conflict alone would have given us the opportunity to open up and actually close him on selling the book for $800. But his brain was broken and he didn't actually want to solve his problem. He knew that he wanted to do his movie independent. He knew that he was sitting across from the guy that owns 40% of A34Z. And so it's book club. It works 100% of the time, every single time. Like, people are aware of their problem, but they're scared of facing it. They're scared of going through that wall and actually trying to solve it. And so that's book club. That's book club for today at Paseo so far. We've got a little bit more time. We'll see what happens, but that's book club. It works 100% of the time, every time.